Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Farming Simulator 15 with me, Brad M73, and we are once again back on the Bjornholm map. Do we want to say Bjornholm is in Sweden or Norway, or does it even matter? Oh, looks like I have to continue my seeding. I kind of forgot. It's been a while since I recorded Farming Simulator, and I want to apologize to you guys. It's been, like last week, it was insanely cold. And I don't know. I just get into these weird moods. Oh, yeah. I just get into these weird moods when it's like super cold and, I don't know. I just don't feel like I'm in the mood or something, to record. I don't know. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry, forgive me. And we are back doing some more farming stuff. Now I got to figure out what the heck I was doing last time. Okay, so he's planting. I was doing some mowing, wasn't I? I think I was. And I think I need to buy a windrower, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I'm going to drop that off. I'm going to pick this up because I'm going to go by and just drop this seed, or this, not seed, this grain off at the farm so I can go down and we'll buy a windrower and yeah, we're going to do that. So, trying to think of what's been really going on the last week. I've been playing. Oh, I've been doing Subnautica. So, it seems like you guys kind of like that series. So, I am gonna, continue to do as much with that as I possibly can. At least until I kind of run out of content, because there's really not that much to do in the game so far. So, I'm just kind of working on that. Episode 2 should be out before this episode of Farming Simulator. So if you guys kind of like underwater games, go check that out. It's actually really good, and it's got some really cool vehicles in it that you can actually build and get inside of and walk around in. It's really, really sweet. I also picked up Star Citizen, which I just did kind of like a first look. Because there's really not a whole lot of content in it right now. Like, most of the stuff is basically, buying ships and, walking around and looking at them in your hangar. And then, so I think some of the ships you can actually dogfight with already. And there are, the dogfighting modules it's all right. No, it's all right. But it definitely needs work, but, again, it's early alpha, and the graphics in it look absolutely amazing. And they don't even have anti-aliasing enabled in the game. All right, so I think I want this Pottinger. Okay, so we're going to have to borrow a little bit of money to get it, which the money is here. Borrow. I can't remember how much it was already. 32,000. Okay. So we got 10,000 left over. All right. You don't have enough money. Whoops. Did I try to buy it twice? Okay. There we go. Okay. So let's go ahead and we'll take this down to the southern field. And I'm going to go up kind of over this field because I want to go past where the cows are, because I know we've got the silage down there, and it's been a while since I've actually gone down and well, I mean, it's been since the last episode, but I'm not exactly sure. I don't think that the silage is ready yet. because otherwise, you know, we could just sell a bunch of it. I need another cat front loader so that I can yeah, I can still see the white tarp on it over there. So, oh no. Yeah, still a little bit of weird issue with the physics. And we kind of had the same issue with Farming Sim 13 though, a little bit when we didn't quite have the right balance of equipment on our vehicles. All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and start unfolding this. Okay. And let's see, how do I turn this thing on? B. Just turn on the, hey, what's going on here? What is happening? Alright, we gotta get lined up again, darn it. Oh, I didn't hit V to actually lower it. Duh. Come on, give me a break, guys. It's been a while since I've used one of these. Okay, there we go. Ah, we missed a spot. So this is just going to make it much easier for us to come back with, you know, with the forage wagon to pick up all this grass. I'm trying to think what else I've been playing lately. Oh yeah, with Star Citizen, like right now, it can be, you know, you can spend like I think it's like $45. You can get, there's 2 starter packs you can get, and then, you know, looking on into the future, or actually not really looking to the future, but looking at other packs, or other ships. I mean, you can easily spend a couple $100 or even $1,000 or more. I think the most expensive pack is something like $15,000, which I think for the most part includes all the ships in the game. I mean, come on, if you spend $15,000, you better, you know, you better get, you know, like a personal visit by Chris Roberts thanking you. But anyway, yeah, I'm just looking at you know, some of the larger ships like the Freelancer and the Constellation, and there's several $100s to purchase. But man, they look so awesome. I would really love to be able to check one of those out. And I think once the game goes live, you do get to carry those games over into the persistent world of Star Citizen. So it's not like, you know, the money that you're spending now will go to waste. And some of the ships that they're building right now are kind of like one-offs. Like you won't be able to get them, or they will be incredibly rare in the persistent universe. So, you know, I have been thinking a little bit about that it might be, you know, a pretty cool investment now, but I don't know. Well, we're just kind of, I'm still learning about the whole Star Citizen thing, and but it's definitely, from everything that I'm seeing right now, it's just looking super awesome. I also, excuse me, I've been playing a lot of Elite Dangerous, and finally got my first $1 million ship. I think it's the Lakon Type 6, if I'm not mistaken. I'm so horrible with the ship names in that game. I also did a paper craft of the oh gosh, it's the Sidewinder, the very first ship you start out with. The Sidewinder Mark II, I think it's called, and so that was kind of fun. I'm actually working on a paper craft of the Cobra Mark III right now, but it's a lot more complicated. So I don't know. If you guys follow me on Facebook, and I've actually updated my video information. If you guys want to follow me, you could just go down. You can get a direct link to my my Facebook page. You can just like that page, and I've actually posted a couple, or actually I think just one picture of the little papercraft ship I did. And it was pretty fun. So if you guys want to check that out, by all means do that. You can also, don't forget, you can also follow me on Twitter, Twitch when I do stream, and wherever else I am followable, Google Plus and places like that. So don't forget you can do that. And let's see what else. Oh, and then I did pick up Stranded Deep. It's on early access Steam. There's all these early access games. It seems like Steam is now the king of early access everything. But Stranded Deep is kind of like, it's just like a little survival game that it's basically Castaway the movie. Castaway with Tom Hanks. Some of you guys might not be old enough to know that movie, but yeah, there's this movie called Castaway with Tom Hanks, and he's actually like a pilot or something for Federal Express, and the plane crashes in the ocean, and he's stranded on this little island. And so it's kind of funny because it really mirrors a lot in that movie, the game, as far as having to survive and things like that. Or at least it reminded me a lot of that movie, I guess. It might not mirror it directly, but it definitely reminded me heavily of that movie. Let's see, where do we put the grass? Oh, there it is. Hello, come back. Oh, there's already grass in it. Cool. Or not cool, I don't know. Let's just pull in through the barn. We're going to feed our cowies. Looks like they already have some grass, but we'll top them off if they need topping off. Okay. And actually, I was afraid that was going to happen. And I don't have any. I guess I have this tractor up here. We're going to have to go up and offload the combine so that we can start seeding. I guess we'll just do more wheat. I don't know, maybe I'll do canola again. Let's do canola. I still didn't figure out what... If you look at the bottom right corner, I still haven't found what multi-fruit mod I had that has that in it. It's definitely so... Oh, no. I forgot. I left the... Yep, I see it way over there. You guys are probably yelling at me, no, you're going the wrong way. So yeah, I've been playing Stranded Deep. I've kind of run into the same issue as I have with Subnautica, is that I've pretty much done everything in the game, and I only put a couple hours into it. So it's definitely a nice game, but they need a lot more content and a lot bigger islands and that kind of thing. But definitely one to look out for. It's pretty inexpensive. I think it's only like $15. It's kind of up to you whether or not you think you want to buy it, because as always with the Steam green light and early access games, there are sometimes you'll get a game and developers will just abandon them. So yeah, hopefully that's not the case with most of these games. Still waiting for the update to 7 Days to Die. Apparently they are moving. They are now moving from the Unity 4 engine to the Unity 5 engine. That's the graphics engine that the game runs on. Doing so would be absolutely awesome because you can do a lot more lighting effects and things like that. So those of us with higher end graphics cards will really benefit a lot by moving to the new graphics engine. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll go back, and while that's offloading, we'll go back and pick up the cedar. Ah. Okay. And the other thing I need to do is I also need to record construction sim. So hopefully I'm going to get construction sim finished later today or tomorrow, just kind of depending on if I'm in the mood. I get a lot of people that send me requests on Steam and you know, like, hey, you want to play? You want to play? And I would love to play with you guys, but I get so many requests as it is that to start like just doing multiplayer with every random person, it's something that's very hard to coordinate unless it's, you know, completely on the fly and I just happen to have free time. But B, when I play the games that I really like to play for my channel, I don't like to overplay them. So, you know, I might record an episode or two and then take a break for a few days. That way I don't absolutely, you know, deluge myself in the game and get sick of it. So that's kind of another reason why I don't, you know, I try not to do a whole lot of multiplayer because I just don't want to get burnt out on certain games. You know, obviously Farming Sim being one of them. Oh, in Farming Sim related news, I have heard some rumor regarding patch 1.3 for Farming Simulator. Beyond that, that's really all I've heard, is that, quote, Giants is working on it. They don't specify, or, you know, those rumors that I've read and that have come to me via friends and other sources, those rumors have not stated, you know, what's going to be fixed, what's going to be added, so on and so forth. There is also I guess it's like a machine company called Holder. And apparently they have some sugar beet harvesters. And I guess they have mods of... excuse me. I'm like burping here. Sorry, guys. They actually have mods or possibly, you know, they might even be created by Giants themselves. We don't know. But at a recent farming equipment show, and I think it was indeed in Europe, they did have some of their equipment running on, you know, computers, you know, at their display, so that, you know, people could, you know, play a bit of Farming Simulator and actually get an understanding of, you know, of what their farming equipment is like. I think that's actually a really great idea. It's also, however, sparked speculation that the next update to Farming Simulator is going to be this Holder DLC, that it in some way is going to be related. I am still not convinced. I've seen absolutely no direct evidence of that, though I'm not ruling it out. It is something that, sure, it is possible. I am not in the know with Giants or, you know, anybody else for that matter. I just thought that this, you know, people were a little too quick to speculate, and you know, so now, you know, people are like, yes, it's going to be the Holder DLC, and, you know, I don't know. I will reserve judgment, but I do remain a bit skeptical. But apparently, patch 1.3 is coming, and, you know, sometime this spring. I think that they did say it should be out this spring. That also kind of ties in with a lot of speculation regarding a DLC, because as we all know, you know, based on Farming Sim, you know, 2013 especially, they always released pretty heavy patches prior to the release of subsequent DLCs or downloadable content. So, you know, expect a DLC within the next few months. And again, I have absolutely no idea what it's going to be. I would definitely prefer something new over something that we kind of already have in the game. Okay, so we're full here. So let's go ahead. Oh, I guess it already picked that up. So we're just going to dump this off in here. And we're going to have to put a lot of grass in here. I can see that now. The sooner we can get to like a Krona Big X, the faster, this is going to go. Well, it looks like we only need about one more load of grass, so that's not too terribly bad. Okay, so this guy's still going here. Just going to put the pipe out here. That way we can fill that up a little bit more. What's going on down here? Nothing. Okay, we sold all the logs. Okay. Where's our tree? Oh, the tree planter's right over there. Somebody asked me the other day, it was in an earlier episode, but they posted a comment the other day. They're like, why do you, replant trees when there's already a bunch of other trees to cut down? Well, because that's really how forestry works. When you go into a forest, you don't, especially now with, I'm trying to think of the correct term for it. Basically, a lot of foresters now don't cut down every single tree. I'm sure that yes, there are some that do. But some of the more responsible foresters, they'll actually go in, they'll mark specific trees. The cutters go in and cut down those trees. Most likely because they've reached a certain age or, whatever reason they, have. And then they'll leave younger trees to, continue growing. Doing that leads to sustainability of the crop. So, if you were to just go in and cut all the trees down, you'd have to plant them all again, and you'd have to wait 20 or 30 years for them to get to the correct age to grow them again. So what you kind of can do is you can stagger that growth in a specific area. That way, if you cut down all the trees, you can run into all kinds of problems like, mudslides, landslides, wildlife issues, wildlife leaving the area or going extinct and those types of things. So you add a lot more environmentally friendliness to what you do, and also more sustainability. So the reason I do that is because I don't want to plant all the trees at one time. I can plant a few that will take the place of the ones of the trees that I've cut down, so that in another week of in-game time, because I think it takes 7 days for the trees to grow, or it might be less than that. But regardless, I can actually. Forgot to lower the thing again. Derp. I kind of space the trees out so that I always have mature trees to cut, and so that's why I do that. And trust me, I know that there are people that just get onto the map and literally cut every single thing down, and that's just not how I play the game. I like to play it as I would play it in the real world, and that's how I play it. So there's your answer. Let's move over to this line here. Looks like we're going to have to get those corners. really see very well. There we go. Ah. Ah. Too many trees in the way. Man, we really need some great demands. Whoops. Big time, because we got all this crop, and we need bigger tractors. We need, you know, I need to get a Corona Big X. There's just so much stuff that we need. Darn me for playing in hard mode, but that means more episodes for you guys, right? Right. Okay. Can you pull this sucker up there? Okay. Originally I had planned to record this yesterday, but I ended up having a pretty bad day yesterday. So I'm getting ready to go to my bank to do, all of my end of month banking stuff. And I get into my van and turn on the ignition, and something really strange happened. I kind of heard a pop, but I didn't really know what was going on. And then all of a sudden, the speedometer gauge, like the speed gauge, like starts flipping left, like basically min max speed. I've never seen that happen before, and I'm like, what in the world is going on? So I start backing out of my parking space, and I turn the wheel, and the wheel starts to turn, and the van starts to turn, and then I start turning the wheel the other way. And I realized that I have no power steering. And on top of that, I was basically like, I have no steering at all, like let alone power steering. So I'm like, oh crap. Now I'm out kind of like in the middle of the parking area where I live. And I'm like, if somebody comes in right now, they're going to be really mad because I'm essentially blocking the rest of the parking lot. So I'm like, oh great. So I have to muscle the. I'm gonna go get the windrower again. Actually, before I do that, drop that off. I'm gonna move the cutters, the grass cutter, the mowers out of the way. Yeah, the mowers. So anyway, I muscle and I steer, and I finally get the van into the parking spaces, but they're like at a really bad angle, and I'm essentially taking up 3 spaces, and luckily, they weren't like private spaces or anything like that, so none of my neighbors are going to be mad at me, but still, it was just ridiculously embarrassing. So I go in, I turn off the van, I try to start it again, and it just sits and clicks. Like the starter's gone out. Like something really bad has happened now. And I don't know what that really bad thing is. So, within the course of about an hour, the battery completely drains itself. Why, I have no idea. completely dead. Now I know quite a bit about electricity. I've grown up racing radio-controlled cars. I spent many years doing airsoft, and so I know quite a bit about, battery technology. How batteries work. What makes them die, what makes them die insanely fast, and so I couldn't really think of anything that would make the battery die that fast, other than some type of a short in the vehicle. So anyway, I had to call AAA to get them to come out. And all this happened at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So AAA says, "Yep, we'll have a guy out there by about a quarter after 6." So the guy comes at a quarter after 6, or he doesn't come at a quarter after 6. We get a message. I get a message, like an automated message, saying, "Though we'll be there at 6:15." Actually 6:16, but who's counting? We'll be there at 6:16. 6:16 rolls around, no AAA. About 10 minutes after, about 6:25, 6:30-ish, we get another automated call saying that it's going to be 8 p.m. So 8 p.m. rolls around, guy's still not there, and I think he didn't get here until about 10 o'clock last night, something around then, 9:45, 10 o'clock. So, yeah, my van is in the shop, and they are booked today, so they're not even going to be able to look at it until Friday, maybe. And so on top of that, I go to get in my car, and, the front tire of my car is blown out and covered in about a foot of snow. So, yeah. I'm like, I guess I can drive my Jeep. My Jeep is, I believe, still drivable. But people are like, "Why do you need 3 vehicles?" It's like, America, right? It's like, why not? Well, for one reason, one of the vehicles I used to use for work, and then the van's technically not mine. It's actually my mother's, and the reason I have it was because I was moving a lot of things for her last year, and she didn't really want it at her house. So, lucky me, right? But anyway, I was in a very, very, very bad mood yesterday, and I didn't want to come on to Farming Sim and just, do a bad episode because I felt bad. So I'm just hoping and praying that it doesn't cost like $50 bazillion. When the AAA guy got out here, he's like, well, maybe you just have a bad belt. And sure enough, he opened up the engine compartment. He's like, oh yeah, your alternator belt is off right here. And he's like, that's probably all it is, because he said the alternator belt also powers the steering pump. So I'm really, really hoping that that's all it is, and I'm doubly hoping that I don't have an electrical short, because those can be kind of difficult to, figure out where they're coming from. So, all right. So how much? Pretty sure we didn't get to 10%. We can't even get to. All right. We'll check back on that in a second. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to start accelerating or fast forwarding time. Why is the ridge marker out, by the way? That's like one thing that I kind of remembered using a lot more in in Farming Simulator 2013, especially on the Hegenstead map. It seemed like the ridge markers worked when you hired a worker, where they don't seem to work really now. I could be wrong on that, but I just kind of thought that was a little bit weird. Okay, so let's pick this guy up. Oops. Okay, there we go. And I still don't know if I've seeded the other field either, so I don't know. Well, the cows are up to 45% productivity. Let's go ahead and just hire him, and we'll go back down. Go back down here, yes. Try not to hit this van. Yeah, 8%. So we've got a lot more grass to cut. A lot more. Alright, so I think I will leave this stuff out here for now. And, I'm going to drive this guy up because I want to see if this field up here is fertilized. Ah, sorry, I was hitting my mic there on accident. Does not look like it's fertilized. Just basing it on this color and that color, they look pretty much the same. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's not fertilized. Yeah, it's definitely not fertilized. I can see there along the side of the field where that's darker. So we'll go and check. How's he doing? All right, so he's got one more pass. And I just want to get the combine out of the way. And we'll just put him over here so that you know, he'll get started combining immediately. What in the world? That does not look like... Oh no. Please tell me I'm not a complete moron. Which I likely am. I don't remember canola looking like that. And I'm kind of wondering if I did that stupid multi-fruit thing. Ugh. No, I planted canola. Okay. All right, Brad. You're all right. You're all right. Whoops. All right, so we're going to go down. We're going to plant... Or we're going to... not plant. We are going to fertilize. Pretty sure this field, yeah, this field's all fertilized. We still get take a big, huge performance hit whenever we turn those lights on. Still have absolutely no idea why. But we do. Okay, so we're going to hire him. And let's say we cut some trees down, guys. I see a really nice, juicy one right up here. Right back. It's kind of over this hill here. Can I... Cut, lift, and back up. Move him out to the side. There we go. Oh, snap. Just going to pull it out of the forest here. And we have to adjust our cut length. Oh, no. Whoops. 5. Let's just do 5-meter lengths. Oh. Okay. Let's see, where are some other good ones? Okay, this one right straight over here looks like a nice tall one. They're a little bit more difficult to tell at night than they are during the daylight, because the fully grown trees, the fully matured trees, usually have kind of like a dark, patchy texture to them. So, you know, that way you can always kind of tell, you know, which ones are fully mature. Or totally immature, like me. Okay, so we're 5-meter length. Cut. Okay. And dawn breaks. Ooh. Okay, let's go back up. Let's get like one more big one. Actually, this one right here looks pretty darn big too. And it's going to be all foggy this morning. It's going to be all froggy. That's what I used to say when I was a kid. It's going to be froggy. Because it's foggy and that's when the frogs come out, right? No. Okay. Bit more. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to pull him up just a little bit. And we'll jump out. And I think I will get him ready. I'm going to go check on the let's see. So today is the 13th. We don't want to plant today, so we'll do our harvest Monday after the hailstorm is when we plant, and then the next 2 days, actually the next 4 days look pretty darn good. Let's see. Still no great demands, I don't think. Nope. Okay, so growth fruit types. I wish they actually had like a thing to tell you whether or not you have. Oh, good. Down here, the grass looks like it's ready to harvest. Okay, we got them all. Got them, what is it, fertilized. Okay. We need to come off and spray off our equipment now that it's spent all night working. Okay. Spray. The front weights always seem to work best when you spray them from the front. And I say that and nothing is happening. Yeah, they still need it. See, this is another thing that they need to fix is, you know, what gets sprayed off when you're spraying. Do I need to step back and spray it more widely? Yeah, see, now it looks like it's kind of coming off a little bit better. I spray it from the back. Will that help? Now, the weird thing on tractors is, yes, it actually, you know, you spray the front. And then the sides. And then the back. I'm not sure if it's like if there are hit box, you know, invisible hit boxes that we have to be spraying, but okay, this does not seem to be getting any cleaner at all. Come on, man, get clean. Now I can slowly see it. If we just spray the Fortis logo, it's slowly getting faster. I don't know, just certain tractors seem to behave a little bit differently than others. I have no idea what that's all about. And see, like, if you see how fast the wheels got clean when I just sprayed them there. So I don't know what's going on. Okay, so he's clean. And it looks like we might have full growth here. And if so, let's look at our, yep, everything's grown. I'm going to go ahead and start him on this harvest. And we're going to go down. We're going to go down and get the mower. And we're going to mow. Yeah. Yep, this field is ready to mow for sure. And I'm just going to pull this out of the way. So we'll put it, let's see, where should I put this stuff? That there, and then we'll put this here. Oh, and I still am going to have to move the windrower, aren't I? Yes, I am. Now, one thing I'm going to try, and actually, I don't know. I thought, well, maybe I'll try to just do a course play route for the field, you know, just do a field work route. We'll see. We'll see how that... I think it's easier to do a course play where you actually manually, or at least for mowing, where you can you're manually run the course. But for a course that's going to be this big, whoops, I might not. Or at least I might not do it on screen, because it's just going to take forever. So, okay, so this is field number 41. So what I can do, let's go ahead and open up course play. So we don't make sure we have all the courses unloaded here. There we go. And first thing we need to do is to calculate, and this is, you can use this for seeding, you can use this for planting, all kinds of stuff. Well, seeding and planting are the same thing, right? Duh. Okay, so we're going to calculate the current field's edge path. And am I not on a field? Oh no. I bet because it's grass now, we can't do it. No! Okay, fertilize and seed, field work. Well, in this case, I think we are going to have to do it the more difficult way. I mean, it's not necessarily more difficult, but let's see. Where is the? Okay, the grain trailer is going to be up at the top. I kind of want to get this first field, finished before I go on, move on to doing the grass. Though, I don't know, we might be running a little bit long, so I might actually want to just save that until the next episode. And still, we have not gotten a great demand, darn it. I think I'm just going to do one episode where I sit in one place, don't do a single thing, and just wait for great demand. However long it takes. And whenever that great demand is, it's going to be for something that I don't have. Guaranteed. Every time. Whoops. Oh, I need bigger tractors. Okay. So we'll unload him, and then I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, I want to get this field done so that I can just kind of auto combine everything else. Because this will kind of be the first true test of our combine route with course play, which I'm really scared about. Nah, I'm not. I'm just kidding. I'm not really that scared about it. Okay, so he's pretty much finished. Or empty, at least. I guess in the meantime, while we're waiting, I'm just going to load up some logs here. At least get some of this stuff cleaned up a little bit. See, a little bit of everything. Hello. Did I forget? Wait, what's going on? Oh gosh, I forgot how to do this. I was like, what? So many games. So many games. So much stupidity. Okay. Here we are. Okay. And we'll just we'll pick up 4 or 5 of these because logging is still like a pretty big moneymaker for us, since we're still saving all of our crops for the big demand. Yeah, I think I've talked about it before. You know, on our farm, my cousin actually farms it, but he'll actually store the crop until and actually sell it when it's, you know, when the price is high. Of course, a lot of farmers, you know, probably do the same thing. But I think I seem to have had this discussion possibly early in 2015 with farming. I'm sorry, early Farming Sim 2015, or possibly sometime back in 2013 on the Titanium edition, where farmers will actually, you know, they take their seed in to the market, and it gets put in like the big seed bin. But essentially, it's kind of like a bank, like you're banking your seed. I mean, it might get sold and done whatever, but you're not technically selling it. You're kind of getting a piece of paper that says, okay, I have this much grain in the seed bank worth this much money, and then as the price, well, it's not necessarily it's worth a certain amount, but you have a certain amount, you know, quantity in, I don't know, in tonnage or bushels or however they do it. And then when the price is, you know, what you feel is a good price, that's when you sell it, kind of like in the stock market. And you know, or you can sell it when you need the money. So for example, you can keep your seed in that seed bank. I'm not sure exactly how taxes work on that, but you know, you might be able to carry that those earnings over to a different year, so that you don't have to maybe pay taxes on it when you don't really need the money, and you know, wouldn't really need to pay the taxes on it, and so on and so forth. So in a way, that's kind of like what we're doing, except we're, you know, it's our own silos, and we're literally just waiting for that great demand price to come in. So, yeah. Can I get both of these, please? Doing all right there. Okay. Whoops, open sesame. Okay. Actually, let's kind of push this one a little bit. And let's go check on the combine. All right, so the combine's finished here. And what I'll do is I'll get this guy started on the next field, and then we will probably end the episode there. Okay. There's that. So I am going to, I know, I think I said this last time that I was going to start trying to do more Farming Sim a little bit more regularly, because I think it's been like over a week or over a week since I think I did the last episode. And I kind of want to do, you know, at least 2 a week for you guys, because I know some of you guys really enjoy the series, and I don't want to disappoint you guys either. by saying that I'm going to do this and then not doing it. As the weather, I think, improves, I think so will my mood in general. I'm getting cabin fever. I think I've said this before. It's so cold out, you just don't feel like going out unless you absolutely have to, and then it's completely miserable. I'm about ready to move to Florida or like California or something. I just can't afford it. So yeah, all right. So we can actually put this guy on a course play route. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and put him on this, and I'm gonna just say drive course. And then of course he's gonna drive insanely slow over to where he needs to go. And then we'll come back in the next episode. We'll get those guys harvesting, and then we'll get the course play route set up, and we'll get our logs sold, or some more logs sold at least. Or at least we'll get this load sold, and that way, we can start getting some more money rolling in, which we really, really need, because we need to pay off. How much of a loan do we have now? Whoops, wrong. We have a $105,000 loan, so I want to get that paid off. And I mean, we can't do it without, we just can't do it without making money somehow. And we really need those great demands. Ugh. And I guarantee you guys, if I were to just, like, let's say I sell all my canola right now, I guarantee you I'll have a great demand as soon as I sell it all. Guarantee. It always happens that way. Supposedly there was like a mod that told you when great demands were coming, like how many days until, great demand for canola or something hits. But I never, and of course I think that was for 2013. I don't know if that's out for 2015 or not. But I wouldn't want to cheat like that anyway. That's too much cheating for me, I think. And I'm just not like that. Alright, so I'm going to grab one more log. And hello. Go down, pick this dude up. And we'll have him all set to go when when the tractor gets back. So we'll hop on here. We're going to send him off to the market. There we go. Don't need the, let's see, where are we going here? We have to go South Forestry train station. And just get them lined up and drive the course. Alright guys, well that will do it for this episode of Farming Simulator 15. As always, please don't forget to hit that like button, and please share. And let all your friends know that hey, my videos don't absolutely suck. They just mostly suck, but not totally. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and please comment. Let me know what you think of the series or any other topics that you might have on your mind. I really appreciate you guys that take the time to watch, and I really do hope that you enjoy the series as much as I do making it. It's a lot of fun. And I'm just going to be doing more videos. I am going to try to do, Subnautica. We're going to have 7 Days to Die coming whenever that update comes out for Alpha 11. We're going to have, what else are we going to have? We are going to have, I'm kind of on the fence about doing, what is it, the island one, Stranded Deep. Though I do plan on doing more Subnautica, at least until I've done every bit of content that I can do in the game right now. So just stay tuned. Don't forget, you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Links are in the video description below. And you can send me a message there, or just follow. You can kind of creep and follow me. When I post pictures and things like that to Facebook, you can kind of see what I'm doing. And yeah. So guys, thanks again. We'll see you next time. I'm Brad M73. Bye for now.